Not because of football. Because of politics. Because of frustration. Because of headlines. Over recent months, South Africa has experienced localized protests linked to immigration and undocumented migration. The protests have generated intense discussion inside the country and growing attention internationally. While many South Africans insist the conversation is about law enforcement, border management, and economic pressure, critics across Africa argue that the public mood has become increasingly hostile toward foreign nationals. Those competing narratives have created tension. And now, for some observers, football has become another place where those emotions are being expressed. In one sports bar outside South Africa, celebrations reportedly erupted every time Bafana Bafana lost possession or missed a scoring opportunity. For some supporters, the football result had become symbolic. One fan reportedly described supporting South Africa's opponents as a form of protest, a way of expressing frustration with developments happening beyond the stadium. Whether fair or unfair, that reaction highlights something powerful. Sport does not exist in isolation. National teams often become symbols. They represent identity. They represent pride. And sometimes they become connected to events taking place outside the game itself. That puts Bafana Bafana in a difficult position. Footballers train to win matches. They do not choose immigration policy. They do not create political debates. Yet they sometimes become the public face of emotions they never created. That is the uncomfortable reality many national teams around the world have faced at different moments in history. For South African supporters, this situation may feel frustrating. Many argue that the actions of a minority should not define an entire country. Others point out that South Africa remains home to millions of people from across the continent, and that many communities continue to live and work together peacefully. At the same time, critics argue that silence can sometimes be interpreted as acceptance. And this is where the conversation becomes complicated. Some people believe football should remain separate from politics entirely. Others argue that sport has always reflected society. History shows examples of athletes becoming symbols during political change, social movements, and national debates. So where does that leave Bafana Bafana? Some fans believe the team should simply focus on football and ignore outside noise. Others believe sporting success could even help repair perceptions by creating moments of unity. Because despite the frustration, disappointment, and political disagreements across parts of the continent, one thing remains true. Millions of Africans still love football. Millions still believe sport can bring people together. And millions still want to see African teams succeed on the world stage. The question now is whether football can once again become a place of connection, or whether wider tensions will continue to shape how supporters react. As Bafana Bafana continue their campaign, every match may become about more than goals and results. Not because the players changed, but because the conversation around them did. And perhaps the biggest question is not whether Bafana Bafana can win on the field. It may be whether football can remind people that rivalries should stay inside the stadium and not define how a continent sees itself. What do you think? Should football remain separate from politics? Or is sport inevitably shaped by what happens beyond the game?